A very good morning and a warm welcome to all the participants and respected speaker of the day. Myself, Anusha, the student coordinator in charge for CSPCS, that is the Center for Signal Processing and Communication Systems, whose motive is to provide high quality graduate and postgraduate training environment for next generation of researchers and support innovation based endeavors with an aim to promote a research culture amongst the students and faculties. On a primary note, I would like to thank Dr. MBV Prasad sir, in charge COE CSPCS, John Moses sir, Faculty Coordinator CSPCS, respected HOD of ECE Department B. Srinivasu sir, and also would like to extend my thanks to our respected principal Dr. Suresh Akella sir, administrative and non-administrative staff and our college management for giving us this wonderful opportunity to conduct such webinars during this pandemic period. The Center for Signal Processing and Communication Systems under ECE Department of Shreyas Institute of Engineering and Technology welcomes you to the webinar on COVID-19 effects on future IT jobs by Venkat Kotapati Sir, CEO Vivilex Technologies Private Limited. Sir has over 16 years of comprehensive IT experience, including 6 years of on-site experience in the areas of capacity building, critical projects delivery, onshore-offshore model, project management, risk management, budget and cost optimization, resource planning and control. Sir, over to you.
Oh, Venkat sir, I have assigned you the role as presenter. Can you please start the presentation now?
Good morning. That was a quick introduction. Thank you uh, for the quick introduction. I appreciate the team of Shreyas who have been kind and they wanted this knowledge sharing session to happen because they have been a good and initiatives they have been taking it in the past and now they have come up forward and looked into this kind of a scenario which we are dealing with, and the team has requested to share ideas what we have been going through in the industry, and at the same time we wanted to explore and see how we can make it better. I'd like to thank Mr. Dr. Prasad Garu and his team and Anusha for the quick introduction. Appreciate it. And I'd like to make sure like this session goes a little bit interactive rather than the one-way speaking because I know it'll get a little bit sleepy at times, so we don't want that to happen. So please be ready for your questions, whatever you feel like relevant to the topic, please. So which we can address it and make sure like they are given a justification with the right answers possible manner. So I would like to thank the department as well as for the principals and the management from the Shreyas College of Engineering for this opportunity to present the topic. Thank you. Prasad sir, you want to have any word?
No, sir. You can start. You can start. You can start.
Okay, great. So I'll just take you everybody through a quick synopsis which we have put it across in the presentation, but it's not that comprehensive. It's a little big, but make sure to bear with me because it can take you through the entire life cycle what we are talking about, the current scenario, and you will be able to know and understand how it's been. So am I audible and everything good, Mysura Reddy?
Yes, sir. It's absolutely fine, sir. No problem.
Good. Thank you and appreciate your time up there getting up everything good to go. So let me share my screen here. And quickly you can tell me like if it is moving. It sounds good?
Yes, sir. I'm able to hear it, sir.
Okay, fair enough. think everybody's on the same page, right? Okay. Now you can hear me clearly as well.
Yes, sir.
Great, great. So the topic which we chose is COVID-19 impact on future IT jobs, because we don't want to get into the other areas of expertise which we are not very sure about. But this IT jobs part, which I have been dealing with the industry since last 20 years, I can call it as, and I am with the industry and been there and working with the different corporations across the globe. And we see how it works, going to help in the future, the way we are doing, taking the initiatives, get it right. So in Vivilex Technologies, I'm there as a CEO to represent and ensure the growth of the company and get everything right. And at the same time, and we wanted to get the services rendered to the corporates and to the world where we can see an opportunity to contribute. And we have been there in the industry for last 5 years as a Vivilex Technologies, and we have been rendering services in the corporate world as well as for the academia in trainings with the technologies. At the same time, we have been there delivering the projects to the customers in test automation and testing space majorly. And there have been a mobile projects, which mobile application development projects, which the team is be able to help and develop and render it to. So those are being brief about. I don't want to take longer time to take introduction about the Vivilex Technologies, and it's been a known brand in the academia because we have been giving them a lot of job opportunities in the past, and there have been close to 10,000 jobs. We can proudly say we have been able to give it to the segment of freshers, and apart from this experienced category. So we are happy to announce that, and we will continue to do our best and look forward to see what we can do to the industry in a positive note. Now, you must be feeling all this. See, you can just take a look at it, the numbers perspective and the percentages. It'll look a little weird, but these are the facts which you have in front. So most of them will be feeling confused and uncertain about what's happening and what's going to happen to them. So now people must be having a lethargic scenario and postponing kind of, okay, let's do it tomorrow kind of attitude at this point of time. And 50% are into that category. And you would see also a time management which is getting into the disturbed, and 49% are feeling that. And stress and anxiety, you can see majority of 42% of people are affected with that. And there are 37% people who are ensured to have some distractions because of their daily activities are not happening the way they planned. So these are the reports or the data points received from the one of the research company called Mindler, and they have contributed all this data for our presentations, and we have extracted from their website, and Mindler is the source for these data points. So if you are going through this kind of a scenario, I'm sure everybody will be feeling a little bit jittery and impatient as well, because I have seen a bunch of them going across what to do now, what not to do now, and how do we deal with kind of scenarios. But let us see how we can deal with these situations. Now we have the topics list. The way where we wanted to cover is impact on the industry right now and the IT jobs part as well. So how the impact is going to be in the upcoming years, and what should students do, especially because the scenario has changed, and now the recruitment, the way it's going before, and it's going to change, and how students can prepare themselves to get into the right job and what they are looking forward to, and how to keep the search moving the job search forward in the industry. And any questions, answers, feel free to keep it reserved and you can give it later and we will just try to address as many as possible. Now we will move on to the next one. Sorry, took the slideshow from me. Industry-wise impact and recovery. Look at this little slide where you will get to know what's happening with the industry right now. And with the last 3 months, February, March, April, we have gone through, and now we see the major impacts on these industries. The major impacted, you can see it on the left, and which can recover faster in that category is oil and gas and mining segments and sports, leisure and luxury segments. These are the majorly impacted. Even the airlines, you can count one of the category, but the recovery perspective, if you look at it, and the slower recovery ones are majorly impacted, but recovery will be slow in the transport and logistics, which is airline, of course, as part of it, and the petrochemicals and petro upstream industries and machinery, and where all the manufacturing is happening, auto and components part of it, consumer electronics, which are making products for the consumers, and the chemical industries are also impacted, but they take longer time to get back. And the financial and insurance companies are also equally impacted, but they take little longer than the others to recover. So mid-range, if you look at which can recover little better, at the same time they have moderate impact, are consumer packaged goods like all the consumables which we have in the market, and wealth management, retail segments. I think retail e-commerce platforms have resumed operations now, which happened after 3 months of wait time, and now slowly they are getting back to the normal. Now, and we have the food and beverage industry. You might be seeing like the newspapers are talking about the restaurants getting open and trying to get back to the normal situations. Now, the education is one of the major industry where still we have in dilemma, as the governments have to take a call like when is the right time to get the educational institutions to start operations from the premises, because of the physical distance issue is still there in a big way. So the schools and colleges are, some of them are yet to take a decision and how to take it forward with all the security measures in place. So the industry which will be in a slower recovery, moderately impacted, you can see construction, IT and IT services. Because majorly the India has been the hub for the IT services companies, and we have been rendering a lot of work for the world and IT services segment, where we can see a lot of development, testing, you name it, all the new products which we are getting built and developed in India are also getting impacted. So IT is, of course, one of the major industry which comes under the impacted category. Now you have the least impacted and faster recovery ones. FMCGs like the cosmetics and all those products, healthcare products, medtech. Of course, medtech had a little bit of opportunity to get their medical uh, devices and the products to get pushed into the market faster. They have the pressure of getting it done well. So now e-commerce, of course, slowly it's getting back into the business. Telecom, of course, without that we wouldn't have had this session, because the wireless communications as well as the landline data support whatever they are doing, and it's continue to do. And they had, of course, the business impacts, but some are even in the positive note. They are doing better, and they are asked to do better. And banking, of course, there has been an impact, and now it's getting recovering back. And home and entertainment media, you can see the OTT platforms have come in a big way. And now, earlier we used to go to the movies, into the theaters. Now it has come back to the home, and the trend has changed. Now, the final one, you can see the real estate. Earlier we had a lot of corporate space for a demand, and now that demand has been a little bit under the pause right now, because there's no pressure immediately for the seats requirement. And now people are thinking to consider work from home, because majority of the corporates are thinking work can be done from home as well. So I don't see much challenge out there. So let's move on to the next, is impact on the IT industry. So let's take this. This is the data points received from the Statista, is a website which has been giving statistical numbers on the surveys and the impacts for the industry. So they have done this in survey and gave these details in their website, and those data points have been collected and presented each year. So the Moody's way of looking at it, and each and every research company which they have said, like, okay, there will be a growth projections point of view, there will be a change. That's what everybody in the 21 is going to be a little bit slower. That's what everybody is thinking. So 6.6 has come down to 5.3 as per the Moody's research and analysis what they have. And now you can see how it's going to be impacting the markets, how this economy growth is taking a toll on these markets. Automotive segment is the major one which has a negative impact on that, and that's the worst hit, you can call it, as in the terms of the market's point of view. And power is the next, IT, of course, FMCGs, healthcare. On the growth point of view, we are talking here. So there are different ways to look at it at each data points. So these are the major ones which we have tried to put it across. Now look at the impact on the employment. So you might be knowing, like, there is a lot of news coming here and there in the newspapers, and the media is talking about at the same time. In the WhatsApp groups also, you might be saying, like, a lot of word around saying that there's lots of jobs being lost, that companies getting rid of this and all. So some may not be there as a relevant, but these are the numbers which have been already seen. This is the data taken from the Ministry of Statistics. So this data is collected from the Indian perspective, from the statistics, Ministry of the Statistics. So we can take a look at it. There's a lot of job loss has happened, that's for sure. It's raising to 27.11% because of this uncertain period. And you can see 2 in 5 employees are facing salary cuts. That's what the survey has been found. And it's been a known fact that the salary cuts in the terms of the variable payments, like the bonuses and all that, the performance bonus they call it as, and like somebody will have a variable components in their salary part. If you do good in this quarter, like, we will give you this much and all. So those are the ones which somebody will miss, and that's like 2 in 5 employees is going to have that impact. So employment impact, you can just look at it. Employed part of it, 19 to March there is a different trend altogether, and in April you can see the numbers have dipped a lot. So employed has come down and the numbers are a little bit scary there. So at the same time, you can look at the job losses point of view in the millions where it is indicated at the bottom, considering where exactly the major impact is. So you can see the small traders and laborers are the major hit. This will take some time for them to realize and get back to the normalcy because they have no choice, but they cannot continue their businesses for a number of reasons. And at the same time, the labor cannot afford to stay back with the employer because they are not able to get the salaries they are expecting and there is no work to contribute to get the business running. So there's a trouble from both the sides. Employers cannot be able to continue keeping their employees. At the same time, employees are unable to stick and render the services with the employers without having salaries. So this is a both the sides impacted areas. And now the second part, you can see the entrepreneurs are the ones who got a major hit as well because they have been investing into their businesses and at the same time the return is uncertain at this point of time. So salaried employees, of course, they have got an impact and we are still seeing a lot of people asking for the jobs where either they have lost jobs during the COVID months of this tenure and or whoever didn't had a job before the COVID are also still struggling with to getting back to the job. So farmers are looking on the positive side, though the transportation of the ingredients or the crops are still in a challenge, but rest everything on the farmer's perspective at this report is not that bad. Now let's look at it in the IT jobs in the coming years. What do you understand from this? Like there is a little bit of diagrammatically shown, but see what's happening here. Take a look at any one point and see how it's changing. Fresh graduates will be expected to have industry knowledge beforehand. Please keep that in mind. This is with respect to the fresh graduates we are talking and who are expected to have industry knowledge. This is for the upcoming job. And now you can see the remote and digital working will be a new norm. So get ready yourself to work digitally from anywhere, wherever you are. Remote working is a norm. So don't think that you have to be at the office to get your job done. You can be digitally anywhere present and you can get your work done. That's a new norm which is really happening now. Full-time non-core jobs will reduce. So earlier we had the tendency to look forward for the full-time jobs and which will take care of your salary part of the needs. And now don't expect that to be continuing further because you may have part-time jobs continuing forward and you will see like the trend in different mode altogether. You'll get paid for the skills what you have. Salaries will be unfixed, means you may earn more with the technologies which are the latest in the industry, and at the same time, it's not like earlier you were getting a monthly salary of a number of XYZ, but now you can expect something which you are doing a great delivery, great product you are working on with a great customer, and you may get more paid for the skills which you have. But in some cases, you may get an average salary or the expected income in that terms. So value perception will increase. Now, whatever the way anybody contributing, the value perspective they would look at and say, this is the value I'm contributing it to the project or the organization or the task. And here is how it works. So your value with your role will increase and that will get you the numbers of revenues perspective or the income perspective, it will be a different cabal. So FITMEM will overrule qualifications. It doesn't mean that you don't need to have a qualifications, but please note that this requires qualifications, but it will be overridden by your skills. If you are good at something, you have some marks in your graduation, and which is not a great number to look at, like 90s and all, and you are not a grader or A plus grader, but the skills which you have can get you into the job. All you need to have the right skills, which can take care of, which can override, I will call it as your academic qualifications. So something you are not certified, but you have a great skills. Most of the time people say like you need to be a Java certified. So at this point of time, you may not have a Java certification, but your Java skills are very good. So you are good to get selected and get paid well. So be prepared in that segment as the upcoming trend is looking forward for that. What next? For the graduates, there are three ways to look at it. And one, they go towards the jobs and become an entrepreneur and do some product, get out of the bucket, or you may consider yourself doing it something for the industry as a whole, or look for the higher studies, or you may say I'll upskill myself or get into the what you call internship with the company and learn some new skills and get going. So at this point of time, these are the three tracks which somebody have seen. So higher studies perspective, also you will see a different ballgame altogether. So you will see how to decide what is next. Here you might be having quite a number of questions. I'll request ready to have keep your questions ready, and so that the audience can ping you and post you in your chat box so that you have it ready for us. So if you have anything, you keep it posted so that it can be posted to me at a later point of time.
Sure.
Are you ready to accept? Are you ready to accept questions from the chat box?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions at this point of time till this slides? What we have done
So
is the industry.
we have one question, sir. So
Uh-huh.
how it impact on 2021 passed out students?
Okay, I'll come into that. That's a good question to ask. I think that is being addressed, and I will also share my perspective as well in the next upcoming slides. Anything other than that?
No, sir. No.
Okay, I'll take care of that one. That is anyway, it's required because the third year graduates must be looking forward to that because the next year when they graduate, how it will look like and what they can expect. So I'm definitely going to take care of that. So this one is the perspective of how what you are planning to get it and decision making part of it. So think about it and take a call what you want to be. So you want a job perspective, the urgency, like you need the income point of view, and you may want to consider a job. And if you don't have any urgency, you want to consider a study, of course, higher education, of course, you can think about it because this is the only chance you will get to see to scale up to the ladder and get the learning either in India, higher education, or abroad, somebody considers. So think of a backup plans. What if something doesn't work? Then think about what's happening really in the market right now and ask the experts and take opinions on the reality what we have in front of us. So please make sure you get the right feedback so you can be able to work forward and see how it's going to be going forward for you. There are some data points which you can see over here. Higher studies perspective. This is the one slide which we have seen. You can consider this is from Mindler, and where people have said the COVID affected their plans. And this each one where we can see the career plans have had impact. They are saying 63% said it's impacted. And looking at the university going abroad and planning to study abroad, impacted, of course, impacted. And changing study abroad plans impacted, for 78% said it impacted. So, what changes are you considering in your study abroad plan due to COVID? So, there are the ways people are looking at it. I'm considering deferring my offer for a year. So, some people are considering into that. Wouldn't be studying overseas anymore. 55% said that. Considering another country. So, whatever they thought before, and they are thinking to consider another country. Here we have some of the targeted countries usually the students look forward to study. So the majority one which prefer go to the USA, which is almost 39% of the candidates prefer that one. And the second comes the Canada, and you can see the UK being there as a third one. And next comes the rest of the Europe as well, and Singapore, the destination. The remaining countries are little bit. Australia is there as a the destination for studies perspective. This is for higher education perspective. These are the numbers which you can take a look at. And this is, as I said, this is from the Mindler's report as an input. So you were thinking like what would be the most demanding skills after this COVID situation eases off. So these are the some of the areas which the suggestions we have received from the channel is virtual and augmented reality is going to be there for some time, and it's been there for quite a while, and it's going to play a major role because the user experience is going to be the one which will give us the ultimate feel to the end user. So you can think that's going to be a lot of need in the industry, and people would look for this kind of skills. And creativity and innovation part you can think of, and digital and social media marketing that's been there already in a big way, and that's going to continue in demand skills. Critical thinking and decision making, problem solving. These are the skills perspective one need to have, and these are going to be in good demand. So somebody would say like there is something called emotional intelligence. So AI is coming it up in a big way, and that can be used in a different perspectives, and people can see there is a robotic way of doing things is no more appreciated, where they want to see something like emotionally how it can be handled. Now you can say especially I've seen some of the music apps, they are dealing with the emotional intelligence. They'll say like, okay, you say like I'm in the gym and you wanted a music for your gym track. So that's the kind of a tones which they are, or the tunes which they are going to play are good for the gym at that point of time, which you can enjoy. Similarly, in the evenings, like you wanted to listen to something, a pleasant music at the evening weather. So something you can choose between the evening kind of a mode where you can say pleasant music, like, or something where you can feel relaxed. That kind of a music is available in the segmentation perspective. So in the genre, in OTT platforms, in the movies or the webcasts, or which you can see now, they are also coming up with categories of different nature, and where you can see this your mood matters kind of a scenario, and which you can see that segment is taken care and addressed. And how they segregate is the major challenge, and somebody have to really need to be expertised to learn those skills and be ready with it. So tech perspective, jobs which you can see, these are the ones which will be expected to be in demand or in demand right now itself. Or artificial intelligence will be the great player, NLP and ML. And business intelligence, of course, is still there in the industry and it's taking a good role. Data analytic and data scientist are going good at this perspective at this time, and it's been there for the last 2 years. It's been data scientists are well in demand. And coming to the development perspective of the web software and mobile games are of course continue to be there, and majorly you can see the cloud computing and DevOps engineers are considered good paid at this point of time. You can see like AWS, Azure, all these areas of the cloud is in demand. But most of the time they'll say like I need so and so experienced guys in this category. But of course the freshers with this expertise or industry exposure which you can get during your project will also help them. And you can also think about the network security perspective. There are 1 lakh odd openings are expected in the security domain itself. So you can think of yesterday's one of the TV debate and the news that has been in the security perspective, and they are considering this is a major employable area where security is going to be the major industry growth element, and one can consider that as a job perspective. But one thing is certain there, like you need to learn quick, get certified, be there and enjoy the roles which you can expect in the security area, because not everybody is entertained in that industry, because you need some ethical skills also to be added to that job roles. So please make sure you learn a great deal. So the online platforms which you might find, there are plenty of online platforms available to learn and moving forward. I think these are all known to you, and to explore from the industry perspective, you can learn the new courses apart from the academics, which will help you. These are all widely used platforms for the industry. Coursera, edX, Edcamey, Allison, Harvard, and all these are there for quite some time. The internships you can consider as well, because the Internshala is there. That's intern. These are the platforms where somebody can take internships, and Vivilex is also conducting the internships in premises of the college in a different mode altogether with the experts, as well as in the office. So the internships are needed, and this platform should be utilized. So how the job hunt can happen. So anybody still now, any other questions, Maisuram, for us?
No, sir, there are no questions.
Okay, good. So is it going okay on the speed, or how you want me to be, like to slow down, or like it's okay to be good?
No, sir, it is absolutely fine, sir.
Okay, fair enough. Because we have a few more slides which is going to guide them and get you going.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
here we see, okay, great. So the new job perspective, how to find a new job. That's one of the challenge for every graduate. Here is some of the things which one can consider. This is like, put it as a slide. Less is more means what? So what is it? The question popped up. I could not be able to see that one faster. But can you check on that? So we can park those questions. and think about what you are learning is in depth. That's important. So the less is more, nothing but you are learning something and which is in depth is going to add value rather than learning everything on the earth. So learn something which is in depth and get certified. That's a great job. So that will add value to you. And the way the selecting can happen with the companies, please, there are n number of companies available and there are different segments which they render services to. So majorly I can call it as in the IT services is the one which we have major brands are there in India and who have been with the big numbers they employ. The second segment you can call it as the SMEs like MSMEs, which are smaller companies, but they have either the product orientation or specific skill set they address in their specialized areas. So those companies which you can think of, they are doing great in terms of their specialized area of network. So please consider that it's going to be a major one and which is going to change the perspective which we have been seen with the industry in the past, like only services industry was there and these new companies have taken over and started paying more salaries compared to the services industry. The reason is they have specific customers where they are addressing one specialized area and they are good at it and they are doing great. So think of that, and they require specialized skills. Please think about it, what the skills you have is under the coming under the specialized category. And this company selection, as I said, the tier one companies may have a market rate of XYZ, but these companies with the specialized skills can pay you more compared to the other ones. The reason being is these guys are specialized and then are capable to get the more revenue from the customers because that's their specialized area. So they are able to pay the employees more in terms of the salaries and they can afford paying that. The reason is you are specialized. So get out of the comfort zones and be flexible. Means gone are those days where you can sit tight and say, I'm going to work on this particular technology only or this particular domain only. So gone are those days. Now you need to be flexible to work and independently challenge yourself and say, I'm there in all respects. So be ready to play as a business owner role, developer role, test team member role, as well as a managerial role, as well as sometimes you behave yourself as a client's representative role as well. The reason being is all these qualities are expected within one person without any choice. The reason is they need to be multi-skilled. Means you are ready to face and deal with the circumstances in your role, be in the everybody's shoes. So you should be able to take care of that. So here, how it's going to be in the multi-channel approach, how you going to get your job. So either there have been the standard approach, oh, I have posted my profile in the Naukri and Monster, sir, and I'll get calls and I'll get into the job. No, that's not enough nowadays. Monster and Naukri, of course, they are being looked into by the employers, but there are need to be other channels. You like go through the friends or the colleagues you might have, and at the same time take reference from the industry. Your parents might know somebody they can refer, and get to the right people at the right time. That's what I would say. The jobs are plenty available in the market, but getting it to the right company at the right time and the right minute, it's going to be a great thing to be in the job. So different strokes and means like different attempts which you make to get yourself into the job is important. So here another thing is, as I said earlier, seek income, not a job. Means you will have the revenue coming into your account in a different fashion than earlier, like monthly standard salary. But it's now it may not be a monthly standard salary. It can be like 2 months salary. You're working for 2 projects, and it's like you are getting double income what you have been receiving it earlier. So it is possible nowadays because I've seen this consulting is becoming one more area somebody is looking at and getting the paid as well. So of course the Indian industry is not ready in a great way for the contractual jobs, but still it's going to be one of the way forward, and the traction is building up there. So no, networking and connections. I've seen majority of them doesn't even have a profile which is written for the social networking sites, where LinkedIn is usually the considered most preferred one, which people can think about it and look forward for the jobs, and they nowadays apply jobs in the LinkedIn, and connections can recommend you to the different jobs, and they can say, okay, these are the jobs available at so and so organization, apply for this. So these are the couple of things one need to get you ready to find your best job in the market. Any questions at this point of time, Mysura Reddy, at this time?
Sir, 1 minute. Sir, there is a question. Is it better to go for higher educations for the students of electrical engineering?
Okay, so electrical engineering at this point of time, they wanted to take a call between the whether to go to the job or the higher studies.
Yes, sir.
If the parents can afford, yes, higher education is preferred because this is an uncertain time. So if you land in already a good job or you have a offer letters in hand, you can continue. But if you don't, you can consider if your parents can afford to go to the higher education, because that's the good thing one can do at this point of time. Because after a year, you never know, a year and two, definitely it will take to complete your post graduation. So definitely you'll be in a better position than today to get a newer job.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Does that answer the question?
yes, sir. And there is one more question, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, sir. There is one more question. What to do if 2020 pass out students plan to go abroad for their studies?
Okay, this is where I think all the universities are struggling to work around, because I know going abroad at this point of time is looking challenging, because the current exams for some of them are not over, some of them haven't got the results, and which they can apply to the abroad universities. This is one area which is still in dilemma. Unfortunately, I don't have exact answer, because the other side, receiving side in the universities in US and everybody, now they are looking into the solution part of it, but they don't have immediately anything to address this question, because they are still working on how to get these students on board. Without results, you're not able to move. That's one thing for certain. And now our universities have to take a call how it's going to be giving them the grades and getting them out of the graduation course. That's one thing which the need is the first one which the universities are targeting. So once you have the graduation degree in your hand, of course, you will have a scope to get out of the current graduation and go into the post graduation and see what course you can consider. That's your choice, and which country is your choice. But that is still uncertain, unfortunately. So think about it before you take a call, because there's nothing ready yet from the university's perspective in abroad. So just think about it from go to the websites and couple of them. If somebody starts the openings before because of the your previous academics are good with the last 3 years, if somebody is considering, that's a well and good, and think about it, please. And any other question there?
Yeah, sir. There is a one more question. So, what the position of mechanical students? Because it's not easy for mechanical students to get placement. What will you suggest?
Okay, that's one hard question we have been trying for the last 10 years to address. So everybody says like we are from the mechanical or the civil engineering. There's another one segment which where we have seen like the services industry kept them a little bit aside for quite some time, saying that these students do not possess the skills which the IT industry needs. That's been the perception for a couple of organizations where we have worked with, and they think like, okay, it's not going to work for them. But that's not the fact or truth. Civil engineers and mechanical engineers are also required in the IT industry in a big numbers. The reason being is a lot of softwares work, and even the products they make are going to work in those industries are quite relevant to what they have studied. So they are going to play definitely a good role there. And don't be disheartened there thinking that our branch is different and we don't have a straight forward to work with those. Non-IT industry, of course, is open for you guys anyway, because civil and mechanical, if they want to pursue their core industry areas, of course, they are there already. But those jobs are still relevant. Of course, the payment part, there will be a little variation compared to the IT, but there are a number of jobs available. But somebody want to consider IT if they think mechanical and their civil is not working out for them, and they can definitely consider studying the some of the computer learnings programming part to be done during the college times. If they were not able to get it done, there's relevant areas, there are plenty of them where they can do well. So mechanical, earlier days, they used to do CAD and CAM. So that used to be the trend to get into the IT industry. But now CAD and CAM is a little bit outdated. There are a lot of new things have come where the mechanical engineers can contribute in the IT industry in a big manner. So don't feel that as a constraint. Only thing you need to find a relevant course which those subject matter personnel can learn and which is easy to learn for them, and at the same time work in the IT industry in a bigger way. In oil and gas, which I have been seeing a major area where we find it very hard to find a right resource. The reason being is the oil and industry is very, very specific with the skills which they have, and the tools which they use in that industry are very niche. And you won't believe the guy who gets with a 5 years of normal Java .NET experienced guy. The example, he gets a 10 lakhs per annum, but with the 5 years industry experience in oil and gas, working in that segment, will get double the pay. Reason is they are specialized, and they either come from mechanical or chemical or similar to that. Civil also works in that segment. So you can think of those one of the major revenue generating jobs or the highly paid jobs somebody can learn and come up with those. and utilize the industry opportunities. Those are hard to get jobs. Please. That's from my perspective. Anything else waiting, or can I move forward?
You can move, sir. No problem.
Okay. We'll wait for a few more questions and keep posting those questions in the group chat, and we will look into it. Reasons which have been the major so far: lack of guidance, which has been the major one which hampered many of the people who did not get into the right jobs. So please consider these are the ones somebody should reasonably consider what's happening. Innovation and research is like it's dead. Nobody is looking into it, and everybody is concentrating on the syllabus, what they have studied, and they are happy about it. Deliverability point of view, syllabus content is not enough. You think that's enough? Not at all. Take the guidance from the industry folks rather than asking everybody in the market. So reach out to the right relevant resources who are working with the industry. So how the situation can be made better. So here are the ones. Problem solving skills are very important for any individual to work with, and ensure you have that. And strong fundamentals, whatever you have learned, learn with your heart and soul there, and so that when you are learning, it will make a sense at a later date. Okay, I have learned in a great deal. So innovation and research perspective, if you could do well, that's a great job. And practical knowledge perspective, which we see a lot of people lack, get that done well. And at the same time, industry awareness. Most of the projects which we see the college graduates do are like they're there somewhere in the internet. They get it done and they try to copy paste that project, and consider that as their final year project, and get that submitted to the college and happy about it. Please, that doesn't work, and it doesn't yield you a major deal, because that's not the end of the story. And you need to have right skills which you learn and do it as your project. That's going to be helping. Otherwise, take inputs from the industry, like which area you wanted to work, get in touch with somebody who can at least give you the pointers which you can considering as a project for your final years. So we have seen many of the projects which are not out of the box at all. They are just there as a project, and they consider, okay, we have done a great job by copy pasting even the code. They'll copy paste from one of the website which is there written, and they'll make it maximum. They'll just execute and be happy about it. I'm sorry to say that it's not the way anybody would look at in the industry. If you are able to do a smallest project with your own skills learned, you are a good to go person, because you'll be able to understand the problem statement, and at the same time how you are able to solve whatever skills you have learned, and you know in and out of the project. You can confidently answer, and you don't have to fumble when the interviewer asking a bunch of questions. What happened to this? What did you do this? What was your contribution in this project? Those questions you would be able to happily address it. So let's not go with the ones which are already ready-made, or some institutions even I have seen offering those as a project work for the candidates. Try not to consider those and do it on your own, something which will help you in future. The other major drawback which we have seen, the communication skills. Some of the members I have seen, they try to play around with their communication skills, though some of them have this attitude. Okay, interviewer is asking a question, what was your contribution in the project? the gentleman will talk about the project. Instead of contribution, he will talk about the project, and he thinks that the interviewer's question is answered. So try not to fool yourself. Interviewers are intelligent. They understand what they are asking and what the answer they are expecting. Please never ever misuse those with the communication skills which you have additionally. For those who doesn't have communication good skills, please consider from the first year itself to work on it, and that's going to play a major role, because that's what you need to work with your colleagues, that's what you need to work with your customers. At the same time, you need to be able to explain some scenario which you wanted to express very clearly, and you need to be firm on your way of decision making. You should be able to tell how you took the decision. Everything needs communication, written and verbal, very clearly. I've seen 10 years guy who is not able to communicate in written very fluently with what they want to express. It's not going to work, and it's not going to help you a lot. Please consider communication skills, whatever you do. And that's unfortunately English being there in the relevant and the market we are using widely. Please consider that as one of the medium which you have no choice but to deal with. Ensure you do it well. That's going to get you a better scope in the better jobs. And how to prepare for an interview. Interview perspective, let us take a look at what are the things you have here. So majority think, okay, these are the ones somebody can consider. Know your company. So when you are attending a XYZ company, so and go to their website, learn from about them, what they are doing, and understand what kind of questions you can anticipate, because the kind of role they are expecting, and think of the role which you are applying for and how you can fit yourself, and be prepared with the answer. What you can talk should match to the relevant what their expectations are, and for that you need to have a great confidence, and which we usually see if you are thrown into the interview room. The candidates fumble. They'll think that the interviewers are going to ask me a rocket science questions which I will not be able to answer. Sorry, they're not there to ask questions out of the box, but all they are trying to do is assess your skill set and see your confidence levels as well, and make sure they are considering the right candidate for their office. So for that, mock interviews will help you boost your capability point of view and ensure that you know clearly what you can anticipate in the interview. So take mock interviews before you get into the real interview. Can ask your parents, friends, or anybody whom you can refer to, or any uncle or any auntie you can consider, like whoever is find you relevant for that particular thing. You can have some mock interviews. We have done these mock interviews for n number of students, and once they complete the training part, and it's been a successful story because these mock interviews give them an idea what kind of questions they anticipate, and they are prepared and ready. So usually they'll think like, okay, they'll ask something which we already know, but sometimes out of the box there will be questions you may have to answer. Please be prepared. USPs, you will see everybody has their own USP, so please consider which company is doing what and understand them in advance, and be prepared yourself. So all that noted down here. Listen to the question and think before you answer. Majority of them, they'll get driven by the person who is interviewing. If they happen to be from their own region or their own language, mother tongue, if they speak, they'll get pally and try to get into the luxury mode of being a friend. The interviewer is never be a friend. Please keep that aside and consider them as a professionals. They are there to do their job in the interview panel and give them the right answers in professional manner. If you don't understand the question, ask for a clarification. Don't sit quiet. Ask for a clarification. They'll be happy to help you with a repeated question or they can elaborate it. So if you are not able to, if you are doing an online interview, like note down the question if required. So that will help you. And recall the coding part if sometimes they ask and do it well with the coding or the logic which you are explaining. First approach is the worst case scenario. So whatever happens in the first try to attempt, so don't think that is the end of it. They will give you a chance once you have done a mistake also. So ensure that you answer whatever you know in a better manner than same question at a later time when you realize you have done a mistake. So these are the simple smile and be calm. I have seen so many people fainting in the interview rooms. That's not at all required. Don't feel panic. If you feel panic or tensed, you will lose the concentration from the panel or the question and you will try getting out of your shape and not be able to answer. So that's quite possible. So be sure that you are quiet and calm and smiley and go with a greeting which will give you a positive note and the interviewer feels confident that you are pleasant and quiet and calm. Pleasant doesn't mean that you have to do like the smile itself is good enough to look at you and feel that. So make sure you're not tensed. So if any questions you feel relevant, please consider that is role related, probation period related, notice period, bond, flexibility to switch between the technologies and all those questions. Definitely you can ask and you are eligible to ask those questions about the organization which you want. Only relevant questions you can feel comfortable to be asked. There's nothing like you don't want to ask a question, somebody will feel bad. Don't ask a stupid question, that's it. Ask a relevant question which will make sense to the interviewer as well as to you. And be confident. That's the main motto behind. So now comes what are the things you can be ready with. So these are the things majorly that people miss, and we don't want you to get into that kind of a scenario and be ready with these. Whatever you have learned and the learnings which you have done, the certifications, etc., trainings completed, please ensure to capture it there and make it lovely looking profile and so that it will be appealing rather than saying that okay it's a junk, I can't read. So make sure there is no typo mistakes. If somebody can endorse you, that's a great. So industry specific, if you can mention something which you have done in your project, that will help you. Coloring part, I've seen red, yellow, green, blah colors. Please try not to use all the bright colors, whatever you have available in the market, to make it as a presentation or something. Make it simple and project yourself with all the positive points which you have. So the key points I would consider here is personal projects and repository. Whatever the projects you have done, and keep that as one of the highlighted one. And if you can put it all the courses which you have studied, that will help you. Positions of responsibilities, roles you have done during your college days or later, even considering the project time, what you have done, that will help you. It's usually print it on a good bond paper so that your profile look good when you are giving a hard copies to the interviewer. Length, please consider 1 page. And if you want to save a soft copy and send it across to the interviews or for the email IDs, please send it in a PDF manner which will look good. Won't get even altered as well. And strong self-introduction is required because that's what one would be looked into, and add a small photograph. Font styles, these are the 3 which are recommended: Calibri, Cambria, and Helvetica. So grammatical mistakes, please never have a grammatical mistake in your profile. So it's going to impact a lot. So think twice, thrice, and make sure like you do the grammar check. And LinkedIn profile, if you have created, that's going to add value. Of course, you can refer that in your page, and that can take it to the right relevant LinkedIn page where the similar information about you is captured. And I have seen majority of them sending 123 profile or 123.pdf or 123.doc. Don't ever send them the Google Docs. They are not there to ask your permission to download and download the profile again and save it. That much time nobody has. If you can send straightforward a file which is clearly written and drafted email, that's gonna help. So otherwise, it's not gonna help you because nobody is ready and spending time with your downloading your Google Doc. Don't send Google Doc link as your profile. Something is there, please. Nobody is going to consider that, or nobody have enough time to download your profile. They will move on to the next profile because they have enough profiles received, and your will be lost. So please ensure sending it in an email in a clear text you have written. Don't use SMS language. Prefer write in detail what you are trying to explain and which position you are applying. Everything in brief, and make sure naming of the CV is important. Email ID, please make sure like your name is displayed very clearly. I have seen in Gmail that whatever the display name is, they don't even care. Email ID comes from ABCD and the display name will say AXV. You can't even map it. So make sure your name is clearly mapped to your Gmail in the display manner. So which is very clear to understand. Font, please, of course, the size and the colors. Make sure like you have it in the right shape and size. So all these are very important ones for everybody to consider. So recession proofing. How will you make yourself recession proofing? These are the few pointers anybody can think of. Be replaceable because the learning what you have done, the skill set what you carry is replaceable by somebody else. And renew and grow, like learn new things and grow in the ladder. Who knows you is important. Where your presence is, like where the industry knows you or not. That's also important. So all the winners take a call, means like whoever is running in the race, the guy who is showing up the most, and at the same time he's the one who is the what do you call the front runner, always been, and he speaks well and he takes the credit for his good doing, and he's the winner all the time. He gets all the credit. Of course, he will be the one who can survive further. Otherwise, they'll not consider. So some of the career advice websites which you can platforms are available to refer that you can consider. So I would like to thank everybody and appreciate your time and energy to be here on this session. And any questions, of course, feel free to post it now and we will be able to answer whatever the best we can. Appreciate. Maishwara Reddy, you can take the questions from anything from the pending ones, or you can consider requesting for that.
Sure, sir. Anusha, please.
Yeah, Anusha.
I think we do have no more questions sir, here. So
Okay.
I would like to close the session off. Thank you, everyone. I would give my special thanks to Venkat Kotapati sir for giving us your valuable time and sharing us such important information that is needed by almost all the students during this period. Thank you once again, sir, for letting us know our future opportunities and possibilities that could help students that could actually get out of the dilemma that is created by the present situation. Thank you so much, sir. It was a very important and informative webinar. I hope this was extremely useful and informative. Thank you all for your wonderful participation. Hope the same continues. The YouTube channel link would be provided in the chat box. Do subscribe it for many more such interesting and informative videos. And before we could wind this up, I request all the participants to make sure that you drop down your mail IDs along with your full names for feedback and certification in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Anusha. Appreciate your time, and I'd like to thank the team of Shreyas and appreciate getting this organized and hope it was helpful. So the final note I have here is for the students, don't worry, the industry is going to survive. I think one question I did not answer, what happens to the next batch? The current batch, of course, they are going through whatever the offer letters somebody have received. These offer letters will continue to be honored by the organizations. Don't worry about it. And sometimes it may be little delay might happen in joining dates, but these offers will be relevant, and don't worry about it. And they continue to take in whatever the company which you have got selected in the campus. Off campus also, they will continue to do, but make sure you have little patience. In the meantime, you upgrade your skills with some technology, which is going to be helpful when you join back the office. So it's available. So nothing to worry about it. And the coming batch, the one way I look at it is because the onboarding of this year's batch may get a little delayed. Because of that, there could be a possibility for the upcoming batch might not have immediate traction built. Means the demand for the next batch immediately may not be there to consider, because usually by October, November, the placement starts. But you may see a little delay over there, but the numbers will be there. Don't worry about it. There are opportunities enough in the market. Meantime, all you need to do is make yourself a independent personnel who can work with the teams as an individual contributor, I would call it as. You are the developer, you are the tester, you are the DevOps guy, you can take care of management of your own tasks, and you are the manager for yourself, and ensure you contribute as an independent person as a whole, so that the project can get a better view of utilizing your skills, and you find yourself more meaningful to render your services. So that's the primary note. Be positive, get through it. We will get through it, and be careful with the scenarios. And now you have to be very cautious with the COVID situation. Wherever you are moving around, follow the rules of the college guidelines and the health ministry's guidelines, so that you are safe, parents and the family is safe, and friends are safe, and the community as a whole safe. And let's make a brighter India. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.